Hi, how are you, Mr. Muso? Today we want to talk about different our questions that we have at a level. When questions come at a level now, they will be having a different approaches. So we want to look on different types of questions that we have at a level. Question number one: questions which are known as extended questions or open ended what are questions. Questions which are known as extended questions or open-ended questions are questions such as how far true, to what extent, how far they are open, how far. It means that you are going to give a broader perspective on how events are transpired, or you'll be given a quotation, and that quotation it say how far true is this a verdict, how far true is this assertion. So that is an open phrased a question which wants you to talk about the greater extent and also the lesser what extent. Then we also have got a type of question which is known as closed or restrictive question. This question now it only wants you to focus on what is there. For example, assess. You are assessing. You are only talking about what is there. Assess these papers that Muso is holding. These papers, they are like this and that. But however, these papers, they are, you are only focusing on what is there. Questions like examine, you examine what is there. Questions like evaluate, questions like analyze, questions like explain, you only focus what is there. So, in other words, you are only talking about possibly the strengths and the weaknesses of what is being asked by the question. Then we also have got questions such as questions which are also known as comparative what are questions, whereby we'll be comparing events. So in this type of a question now, you only talk about the differences and the similarities. But when you are doing that, you are supposed to talk about a given aspect as a similarity. Then you move on, you talk about a given aspect again as a difference. So you look on the differences and the similarities when you answer comparative what are questions. Then we've got questions which ask about inevitable, unavoidable. The downfall of Naples was inevitable. The French Revolution of 1789 was unavoidable. It was inevitable. So when you answer this question now, you talk about the events which clearly show that the events were unavoidable. The first side of the question is not a problem, but now when you go to the other side of the question now, you are focused on the efforts that were done. Don't use wishful thinking, such as if or they were not. By so doing is contradiction. So on the other side, you look on the efforts that were done to address the problem, to address what is being asked by the question. Then we also have got questions which are known as multi-dimensional what are questions. These are the questions that will be having a broader perspective. They can also fit in on the open or phrased questions. Questions such as discuss. If you are discussing now, it's a multi-dimensional what a question. Politically, economically, socially, it's a multi-dimensional what a questions. Then we also have got questions with quotation marks. When a question comes with a quotation mark, you first agree with what the quotation is saying. Then on the other side now, you give your thought. Don't start by giving the other side, or don't start by giving a criticism on the quotation, but go with what the quotation is saying. Then on the other side now, you give your thought, you give a critique. Then we also have got questions with why. Why within the Ndebele defeated? Why did the French Revolution take place? When a question comes with why, it wants you to talk about the reasons. So on those reasons now, you classify them. The long term, then you talk about the short term. So that is how you are supposed to answer questions with why. Divide it into long and short term. Then you automatically have your two sides of the question. So here, that is what we have here on different types of questions that usually comes at a level. Thank you so much. I'm Mr. Muso.